Welcome to the Just As We Are podcast. I'm Katrina, certified life coach, aspiring author, lover of people, mama in recovery, and student of life. Each week, I will bring you love, inspiration, the real life stuff people are afraid to talk about, and guests who are willing to shine their light for you. I give you self-care practices and mindset tips to help you shatter the negative stories you tell yourself. Now is the time to step into the beautiful, loved, whole woman you already are. Let's walk this journey together. Welcome. I am super excited about today's episode and all that we are talking about because it comes up so much in people's lives every single day. And it's a big word. Sometimes I feel like it's a buzzword that is used. And I also believe that it is a huge, huge excuse that people use to keep themselves small, to stop them from taking a step towards something that it is that they desire or want, or from doing something that, ultimately, if we dug down deep, we would know they would love to do or just have fun doing it. And that word and the topic for today is fear. Fear is an illusion. That is all that it is. Fear is an illusion. It is something that we make up in our minds that is not true. Fear, by definition, is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. An unpleasant emotion caused by the belief. It is a belief. Therefore, it is something that can absolutely be changed. It is just a belief. Something that is not real is made up in our heads. Fear is used often for reasons that people say they can't do something. More often than not, you hear people say, well, I think it comes down to fear. I'm afraid of, people. I'm afraid of this happening, or I'm afraid of whatever. It all comes back down to fear. And oftentimes it's true. Oftentimes it is due to a fear. And oftentimes for me, and what I observe is that it is a fear of something that we're not going to get, or something that we have that we're afraid we're going to lose. So let me say that again. Fear is an illusion. And oftentimes it is a fear that we are not going to get something we want, or we're afraid it's something we're going to lose. Here is a way to help you work through that fear. I want you to think about something you're afraid of doing or you're afraid of losing. For example, what if you're afraid you're going to lose your job? What would happen? Or what if you did lose your job? I want you to take that to the worst case scenario. What would happen if you lost your job? Ask yourself this question. If I got laid off today, what would happen? What would happen if you lost your job today? Well, you obviously would lose your monthly income. So therefore, you maybe wouldn't be able to pay the rent this month. You wouldn't be able to keep up on your bills. You might feel like you're a failure. You could lose a car. Might not be able to eat for a week or bring groceries in. So let's take that. Let's break it down even more. If I got laid off today, what would happen? I wouldn't be able to make the rent this month or pay the mortgage this month. Okay, if you weren't able to pay this mortgage this month, what would happen? Well, you'd be behind a month. You might get a late fee. You probably have the mortgage company call you. Okay, so then what would happen? You keep breaking it down. Those are all the worst case scenarios. That's all the things that can happen. You're not going to die. You might lose a few things, or you might get behind on a few things, but you're not going to die. And are you perfectly capable of figuring something out? Yes, you are. You're perfectly capable of figuring something out. If you lose something or you get behind on something, will it cause you some stress? Absolutely. Of course it will. If you choose that. If that's what you want to choose into. Or you can choose into a different mindset of, you know what? This is what's going to happen. Here is what I can do to resolve this issue. Or this is what I can have, And oftentimes, so this fear of losing your job, that is a little bit of a more realistic fear that could happen. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. So that's the next question you get to ask yourself. So go to the worst case scenario, and then you can ask yourself, is this really likely to happen? And most oftentimes than not. You have to break that belief, that illusion down, pull it apart and look at it. And when what you have at the end is really nothing. What is the worst case scenario that could happen? Just break it apart. Take it apart, peel it back until you have nothing left. And you'll find that your fear is just that, an illusion. There's nothing really solid or there to concrete to hold it together. It's a belief that we have to keep us from doing something or moving forward in some way. It thinks it's keeping us safe. Fear comes from your ego. And that is where you're edging God out. That's where you're not having trust in the process. That's not where you're trusting yourself. That's not where you're trusting the universe or the energy or God to take care of you. It's just an excuse to keep you where you're at, to hold you where you're at. Move through it. Grow through it. It's just an illusion. It's just a reason to keep you where you're at.